Good morning, it's Barbara. Thank you for joining me for coffee. It's about 66 degrees out here according to the gizmo, but I had to start over, so no gizmo, because I'm not going back in. I already went in twice to get stuff. Oops. I have a very loose connection between my throat and my thorax, you know, my esophagus and my thorax. Is that a thorax? My windpipe. And I tend to choke a lot. I choke on my own spit, which means I really need to get a pneumonia shot, because people who choke on their own spit are very highly more likely to get pneumonia. My mom, I got this from my mom, and she used to get pneumonia all the time. She got it 4 or 5 times in her late years. Now I can't remember what I was talking about before I choked. Oh, this is the Mexican coffee that I got from Verena. My first cup is, that coffee is in the grinder, and Dennis brought me a cup of coffee to bed, in bed today, and it was the 1001 that Verena sent me. And I think that grinder's almost empty, so I will pick another one to go into the grinder. But I did one by hand, and I'm telling you, my arms get sore doing that, which tells me that it's a good workout, and I am in terrible shape. And so every little thing that turns out to use muscles is a good thing for me to do. So my new pattern, we'll see how long it lasts, is my first cup I grind in the grinder. My second cup I grind by hand. Now I got the hiccups. So that's my coffee situation, and it's delicious. So I did go to my local yarn shop yesterday and got a recommendation for, I asked for a worsted weight because a lot of the hats are worsted weight. I thought it could knit up pretty quickly if it were worsted weight. And she showed me this Juniper Farms Cumulus. I don't know if you can see that or not. I could put my glasses on, then I could see if I could see it. Juniper Farms Cumulus. It is 94% cotton and 6% nylon. And it's in the color Narwhal, not Narwhal, Narwhal, which I think is pretty funny. And this is it. Isn't it beautiful? So I got the blue again, and it is a chain preparation rather than applied preparation. So the woman at the yarn shop thought, she showed me like a shawl made out of it, and she thought it held its shape better because it wasn't plied. It was the chain. Anyway, it's super soft. I think she's gonna love it, and I can tell you, I enjoyed knitting with this yesterday 1,000,000,000% better than the sugar and cream or whatever it was that I was using, the dishcloth cotton. I will admit, this was so much more fun to knit. And I am making the Grey's Anatomy chemo cap. I don't know if you can see that. It's basically a very simple hat. It's got a rolled brim, like a stockinette rolled brim, and then it's 2x2 rib. Because I thought, you know, the whole thing being 2x2 rib, it would stay on a little bit better. Anyway, I'm almost done. Isn't that crazy? I'm almost done. It's, put this on so you wouldn't see how bad my hair looks, and here I'm going taking it off. It is not tight, but it's certainly going to stay on me, and I hope it will stay on her. I mean, because she doesn't have hair. So, but I think that this yarn is so soft and so lovely that I can't imagine that this wouldn't be at least as acceptable as the other. And it is so much more lovely. So I am going to finish this today. I've already started the decreases. And I am going to finish this today. Weave in the ends. Get it all ready. Slip it in an envelope and send it off tomorrow. Which means, Kim, I'm also going to be sending you your magazine tomorrow because I'm going to be going to the post office and be in a mailing mood. So I will find out from my recipient. I'll ask her if the yarn is comfortable, if the size is comfortable, and go from there. And if she would like another one, because number one, I probably have enough to make another one. If she wants the second blue hat, I would just change the style of it so it would be, you know. And if she really likes it and wants more than that, I would go back and buy another color. You know, she wears very subdued colors. Navy blue was a suggestion from her daughter. But, you know, I'm sure she would love a sort of lush gray or, you know, something like that too. I'll ask her. We'll see what she says. But I hope this works for her. I'm feeling much happier with this, and I enjoyed knitting it so much. Look how much I knit yesterday. It was like I was a knitter yesterday. Look at, I almost finished it, but it got late. And I decided not to push it, but I will finish it today. It's Sunday, so the post office isn't open anyway, so I can do it whenever I want. Finish it today, get it in the mail, get it ready to mail tomorrow, and I will mail your magazines to my friend Kim in Florida, who fared pretty well with the hurricane, and everybody's home that I was really worried about, and they all have power back, so this is all good. This is all good. I think I told you that yesterday. So, yeah, so I went to the yarn shop yesterday and I knit and I knit and I knit and I knit. And I mentioned to Dennis this morning while we were drinking our coffee that my arm didn't hurt. Now, one of the silver linings of having zero mojo for so long is that I had tendonitis in my right arm, which I'm sure I got from knitting. And I did so little knitting for so many months that it's better. Funny how that works. It's better. And so I knit for many hours yesterday. Not all day, but many hours. I probably knit 5 hours at least or more, maybe 7. And, yeah, I just was knitting, watching TV and knitting. And this morning I commented that my arm did not hurt. It did not hurt. I have a tiny bit of soreness that doesn't read the same as the tendonitis, and I think that's from grinding my coffee and using those muscles a little bit every day. So yeah, so that felt really good. I did not process my lemon peels, so I will be making lemon juice today for sure, because I started soaking them on Thursday, so it's time. You make this super juice you peel the lemons with a peeler, so you just get the yellow part off. You're not taking the whole lemon peel. You're just getting the yellow part off. And I use a potato peeler to do that. And you take equal weight of the peels you end up with and citric acid and soak them. And the recipe says at least an hour. So they've been soaking since Thursday. And now you just add water. You blend them to smithereens and you add water 16.6 times the weight of the peel. You add water and you juice all the lemons and add the lemon juice. And you end up with a lot of lemon juice you end up with, 10, 20 times the 16 times the lemon juice that you would just from juicing those lemons. So, and I use a lot of lemon juice because I use it in my fluff making for Aura, and I have lemon based cocktails every night. So I can't even think of what my lemon bill would be if I was just using straight up lemons. Yeah. Anyway, so I'm going to finish my juice today. I'm going to finish my hat today. Those are the two things I have to do today besides walk my dogs and feed them. Those are the two things on my list. And I might just give myself a nudge and get my paint stuff out onto the table, because I really have been doing the mental process thinking about painting, and I have thank you notes to write. Oh, tomorrow I'm going to show you. I got a lovely package. Did I tell you about this yesterday? I'm not sure when it came. I got a lovely envelope from my sister's stepson. I think I told you I was expecting it. Maybe I didn't tell you I got it. That they have finished clearing out her house and are staging it to be sold. And so he came across a bunch of stuff that he thought I might like. And it came in an envelope. So I was expecting a box, but it came in an envelope. It was all paper stuff. Some pictures when she was younger with she and Ross, Dan's dad, because Dan is Christy's stepson, and my sister Christy. But the real treasure, well, those pictures are pretty treasury. The real treasure was a self-portrait that she had done in woodblock, and it looks just like her. It's amazing to me. And printed on kind of a tissuey paper. And I think I'm gonna have that professionally framed and put it somewhere. But I remember it now that I see it. I've seen it before, but I haven't seen it in decades and decades. My sister was an artist. She was an artist. She did everything, but her sort of professional art, the things that she really got into were ceramics and glass. I have a lot of her ceramic pieces, and I have some of her ceramic pieces coming with Christy at Christmas time because I couldn't get them home, but we packed them in her car. And she did fiber arts, but she had really kind of stopped fiber arts 20, 30 years ago. She had a huge room lin, like loom, a room-sized loom. She had this giant loom that I think she gave away when she moved. I hope she gave away when she moved. She had two smaller looms with her, and Christy, my daughter Christy, took those because my daughter Christy is a fiber artist. And she had, poked around on the loom a little bit, but she hadn't done any like really heavy, serious work. The sad part is that the yarn that would finish that project, which I'm not sure. I mean, Sister Christy said, don't worry about finishing, do your own thing. That's the yarn that got lost in the mail. So she couldn't finish it. Daughter Christy couldn't finish it even if she wanted to with the same yarn because that got lost. Which reminds me, I need to send her the money for that because I got insurance. I didn't put enough insurance on that package by a factor of 5. But they did pay it off. I'm hoping that they find the box, but I don't know what they found a box that they already paid the insurance on, they probably just sell it, right? They probably put it in an auction, whatever. Anyway, so my sister was a fiber artist, and I actually have some wall hangings that she made me when I was married to my first husband, and they're in my basement, not being well cared for. So I should take them off their stretchers and see what kind of shape they're in. But anyway, this wood print of hers that she did, this self-portrait, she might have done that in school, because she was a art education major. She was an art teacher for a year before she went off to do other things. She ended up being a CPA of all things. But it's possible she did this in one of her classes, because I've never seen any other wood block prints of hers. So I'm not sure that she sort of had a wood block phase. But anyway, I kind of love this, and I feel like I might want to get it framed. So Paige the Framer may be hearing from me. Because I don't know any other framers other than, you know, Michael's. So I will show you that envelope. The dogs are on the alert. Something happened over there. So meanwhile, so today I have a couple things I need to get done. And it's a beautiful day. I probably will spend some time on the deck. I don't know if Dennis is going to do any mowing or not, but I don't think he'll really be mowing back here much. He has some hand mowing from the push mower, the walking mower, to do. And it's going to be 63 tomorrow. So it's a high of 63. So today the high is going to be 78. Tomorrow it's going to be 63, and then for a few days it goes in the 50s. So I am going to be getting the fireplace ready, because we're soon going to have our first fire. I have a feeling, my spidey sense tells me we're going to have our first fire soon. So I have some papers to burn in there and dry out the chimney, and I will get to that, to do that. I had some stuff from my dad that I needed to shred, and he's like, why don't you burn in the fireplace? It needs to be dried out. I'm like, okay, works for me. So there you go. Meanwhile, look what I did yesterday. I can't believe it. So soft. It feels so good. So if this yarn works for her, I'm going to go back, because they had a million colors in this. Juniper Moon Cumulus. No. Yeah, Juniper Moon Farm Cumulus. So that was a fun find. And I didn't buy any yarn for myself. I just have so much gorgeous yarn. I just couldn't. And, you know, I just don't want to jinx myself. I have beautiful yarn. I have beautiful yarn that my friends have spun for me. I need, you know, I need to, well, I want to finish my road trip cowl, because I'm very close to being done with that. And I want to finish my Montrealer, because winter is coming. And once those two are done, because I really want to have the Montrealer and I really want to have the cowl. And once those two are done, then we'll see how my mojo is and what I want to do next, because I have some beautiful patterns that are on my radar that friends have gifted me that I want to knit. And it depends on how complicated I want to get, what kind of brain space I have in terms of for knitting, you know, to decide what I want to do. Because this Silvestri sweater, which is got, you know, two colors, it's a kind of a mosaic kind of thing going on through the whole thing. If I can find the yarn I bought for that. I don't think I kitted up that sweater, and I hope I did. At least got the yarns all together. that's on my list that I want to do. And I'm not sure. Oh, and I just promised Dennis that I would make him a hat. He lost his cashmere hat that I had made him. That was the first hat I knit him, was out of cashmere. I bought that cashmere at Vogue Knitting Live in New York City. Do you remember years and years ago? I went to Vogue Knitting Live, and it was my birthday present to myself. I stayed in the event hotel. It was I had at least 2 classes. I'm not sure if I had more than 2 classes, but I did, because I had a Vera Velamaki class about shawl shapes. I had a Susan B. Susan B. Anderson. I did a color work class with her. And I made a color work hat that I absolutely loved. I loved that hat. I was so proud of myself. I made this color work hat, and it blew off my head in Patagonia, Chile. Went down this huge cliff. I seriously considered for a couple of seconds going after it. It just went deep into a crevice. I didn't even see, you couldn't see where it ended up. But that broke my heart. Luckily, I was in the middle of making a hat while I was down there, so I finished it real quick because I needed a hat. But that broke my heart. So those 2 classes, and then I did a dyeing class. I can't remember the woman's name. She's a Canadian dyer from the Canadian Northwest. And she has a yarn company. Anyway, I can't remember her name. But I did a dyeing class with her. That was awkward because it wasn't in a place where it was, this was in like a conference room. They're teaching us how to dye. It was weird. Yeah, I can't think of her name. But anyway, I bought that cashmere at Vogue Knitting Live, and made Dennis a hat out of it. And I had remade that hat a couple times because it wasn't quite right. I eventually got it right, but then it got lost. It makes me sad. He thinks he lost it at the same time he lost his sweater. I made him a gorgeous sweater. That's also lost. I told him I would make him a new hat, but he shouldn't count on getting a new sweater. I don't have enough knitting in me to do that, to knit him a sweater. Does that sound mean? But I do have enough knitting in me to knit him a hat, I think, this winter. And that means I can buy some gorgeous cashmere and don't have to pay for it with allowance. It's nice to work with cashmere. Well, I can tell you the fact that this was a lovely, yummy yarn made the knitting so much easier. So I have to remember that. Using quality ingredients in your crafting makes a big difference. Quality, and in your knitting, quality needles, quality yarn. The best that you can afford, I recommend that you get. Now, I started out using a plastic set. I can't remember the name of the set. A plastic interchangeable needles with tubey cords that I bought at Joann's or Michael's. I can't remember. And I used that for quite a while. It was the best. I didn't know if I wanted to be a knitter, and it was, I was on a budget, and I made a sweater out of that sugar and cream with those needles. So I say, I don't want to be a snob. I don't want to sound snobby, but I do recommend, and the same with painting, get as good of quality paper and brushes and paints as you can afford, because the higher quality tools do make a difference in your crafting. So I really enjoyed knitting this yesterday. I really did. And I am glad I changed the yarn, because it made a big difference to me, because I can afford quality yarn for this project. And I like this yarn. I'm sitting here saying, this would make a really scrummy sweater. Cotton sweaters, you know, it would feel delicious, because that's very soft yarn and very, I hope it can, I didn't even look. I hope she can wash it. She can wash it, no dryer. I'll just tell her, no dryer. Lay flat to dry, I'll say. Anyway, I'm done. Oh, Leslie got a lot of spinning done today. Anyway, I'm sorry to go on and on, but you know, fast forward when you're done. Just leave when you're done. I get it. I get it. Meanwhile, oh, and I did my yoga yesterday, and I'm going to do my yoga while I upload this, because I've been doing my yoga too. So I'm feeling pretty good. Feeling pretty good. Considering. Please take good care of yourselves. Please, please, please stay safe and stay sane.